Morning, Richard here. How about some rambling? I actually don't even have anything planned specifically. Just checking in, really. Up 4 o'clock in the morning again as usual, and um, I'm really diet-wise, which a lot of my peeps going way back are interested in that first and foremost. This kind of you know whole foods. What is it if you're new here? What is it? It's eating real food most of the time. You know, even beyond 80-20 rule. So, my junk is almost nil. I go to Macro, which is the Thai version of Costco. It's actually a Dutch company that precedes Costco by 15 years for you U.S. peeps. And if you go into Macro here, it's, if you were transported there with a blindfold on and open and took it off, you would immediately think, I'm in Costco. It's a carbon copy, literally a carbon copy, except the signs are in Thai around. But everything else is exactly the same. And I'm not saying almost the same. I'm saying exactly the same. So anyway, I go there and I get, I buy mostly pork. There's beef there too. I get some ground beef sometimes, every now and then, maybe a ribeye, but the pork is so good. And we're talking, I get pork, now there's pork tenderloin, everybody knows that. It's kind of the tube, right? They have those, and they're great. But they also have what's called pork loin. I understand it's a different part of the animal. So it's about the size of a standing rib roast, a little bit smaller of a beef standing rib roast, and it's just wonderful. And what is the price? The price is 140 baht per kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. So it's about 70 baht per pound, 1.1 pounds. That comes out to like just a little over $2 per pound, and for delicious and good Australian imported beef, ribeye, black Angus. You're talking $20 a pound. So, you know, do the calculation on that. So I get that, and I get some Thai sausages that rival the German sausages that are very easy to get here, but 5 times as expensive, right? I get chicken. I make chicken wings in the air fryer regularly. Otherwise, it's the protein, and it's potatoes, some rice, mostly potatoes is my starch, some bread, not much, and some dairy, yogurt, milk, and orange juice. Orange juice. I really think orange juice is a good addition to your health thing. Not huge. I mean, I get a liter at a time, and it takes me 5 days a week. I do a thing. I make iced tea, and it's kind. What an Arnold Palmer is, which is basically half and half, or 2/3, 1/3. I'm like 2/3 iced tea to 1/3 lemonade, sweetened or unsweetened lemonade, mixed. Well, I do it with orange juice, and it's great. So that's how I get my orange juice. I put like about that much orange juice in the glass, and the rest iced tea. Try it. Right now it's coffee, so it's 4 hours. I got up at 4 or 4:30. It's 8:30, so this is about I don't know. So what's funny this morning? What's funny this morning? Well, yeah, I guess yesterday or the last couple of days, Elon Musk, Twitter, finally cut off the verification or the little blue dot. And all the celebrities and politicians were granted those. It was very hard for a regular person to get one before, and this kind of created an elite kind of thing. Lots of verified, blue checks. Well, when Elon came on, he said he was going to do that, and he did it. He's done it in steps. So at first was allowing anybody to get a blue check by paying the $8 a month subscription, and you get a couple other benefits from that. One hopes that you get a little bit better visibility in terms of your tweets. If it's between your tweet and somebody who's not paying the $8, maybe yours should be a little higher in the feed. Who knows? But it should be. And so I pay that. Twitter is a big value to me, especially since Elon has taken it over, and it's a good source of, since he's taken it over. I have another account. It's my first initial last name, at Nikoley. If you follow me there, go in and follow at Black Flag Expat, because that's where I post. My other account's still active. It was dead for 2 years, and then when Elon took over, I appealed it and got it back with its 5,500 followers. Now I think about 5,300. But the thing is, I say, hey, come follow me at Black Flag. I think most of the people are inactive or whatever, or they don't give a shit, or my tweets aren't being shown. I'm still stuck in the algorithm as somebody who had a dead account, something. I don't know. Who knows, right? But anyway, I built it. I built a new one up to now over 600. I think as this morning, 620 followers, and I follow just a couple hundred, and I gradually diminish that over time. Incidentally, with a small number of followers, you just aren't going to get that much engagement. Because even if your followers are liking and retweeting your stuff, which I wish they would do more, actually, if they like it, click like and retweet it if it, it helps. Helps me build it. But the best way to build it is I go in and I see something that catches me, and a post by somebody who has a big number of followers, and I find something to call bullshit on, so I do in comments, and so thousands of people read that comment, and I'll get sometimes dozens to hundreds of reactions to that, which oftentimes are blah, 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 bullshit, which you just have to ignore, right? But people who see it for what it is, the comment for what it is, and like it or agree with it, whatever, often end up following you. So just recently, I did one that caught, and so while everybody's like ridiculing me, I get like 30 new followers. Okay, this is a good trade-off, and I don't give a shit about the ridicule. Who the fuck are they anyway? Don't fucking care. So that, anyway, back to the point. So within the last couple of days, Elon finally, he'd been warning. He says, okay, all you legacy blue checks, the ones who had the freebie for all this time, the elitists, the Twitter elite, the ones who were, I call it protective censorship. So a lot of this censorship, wasn't just about COVID or the election or whatever. It was to protect the blue checks. They had protective censorship, and they don't have that anymore. So they're open to ridicule. and they get mercilessly ratioed, it's called. It's when there's a lot more shit piled on them than there is likes and, retweets and forward. It's called being, you got ratioed, I love it. It's delicious. It's wonderful, right? Anyway, so he took away the blue checks. Even President Biden lost his blue check because he has to pay $8 a month just like everybody else. But it's the entertainers, Bette Midler, Alyssa, what's her name, Milano or something like that. Oh, they're throwing hissy fits, right? And people running to their rescue and everything. It's like, fuck off. Pay your $8 a month. But here's what Elon did. Let me bring it up here. Oops. Lost my thing here. Okay, where is it here? So somebody was talking about it, and here, let me find it here. I was going to do like a screen thing, but I can, why. All right. Okay, yeah. Elon, in reply to, I think, somebody complaining about the treatment of Alyssa, whatever her name is, Elon says, we've started a, quote, save a celebrity fund, unquote, to pay their $8. We take this matter very seriously. Now, here's the funny thing about it, is that someone came out and said, Elon is letting some of his friends skate on this. And Elon says, no, I'm just paying out of my own pocket for 3 people. Who did he choose to pay for their $8? William Shatner, Captain Kirk, LeBron James, the basketball player, and Stephen King, the thriller horror, novelist, right? Who is a moron. Every time I see something by Stephen King on Twitter, and he's reasonably active, it's like vomit garbage coming out of his mouth, like shit from a child with no brain, and it just amazes me. Yeah, I've never read a Stephen King book. I've seen a couple of the movies based on books. So, I'm not, just disclosure, I'm not knowledgeable about his talent in terms of book writing. And a couple of the movies I've seen are fine. I mean, they're good entertainment if you like that genre. But it's like, how can a guy who's so fucking successful in writing these books and coming up with this shit out of his head be such a moron when it comes to anything substantive, political, social? It's unbelievable. LeBron James, I don't know anything about, but my take is Elon said, hey, these are 3 people of value to me, so I'm going to pay the thing. It's fine, it's his value. But I did add that I might pop for Shatner, because Shatner is a guy who is under the category. I have a short list of these people who are in the category of, if they did not exist, you'd have to invent them. Now, in terms of the diet world, who would that be in the diet world? If he didn't exist, you'd have to invent him. Dave Asprey, Mr. Bulletproof. I've met him several times. I've had dinner with him a couple times in the Bay Area, and we co-spoke at a conference in, I think, Austin, way back. I actually won a pound of his crap coffee, and I've told that to his face. His Bulletproof coffee is crap. My personal preference, I like dark roast, Italian and French dark roast. Anyway, but Dave is a character, and he has a thick skin, and so that I put him in that category. If he didn't exist, you'd have to invent him. See, that actually comes from an old French saying that I think was coined by Voltaire. Si Dieu n'existait pas, il fallait l'inventer. So invente. So it means that if God didn't exist, you'd have to invent him anyway. So you might as well have God. So anyway, that's that. Oh, I'm writing a post. God, I've got to finish this thing. It's on censorship, and here's the catch of it: that people think that free speech is the constitutional guarantee. It's kind of like the people who think the gold standard protects your money. But if you look back at the inflation during the gold standard from 1900 to 1971, it's about the same as inflation since on a year-by-year basis, right? The declining value of the dollar tracks like that from 1900. Boom. The gold standard doesn't matter any more than the Constitution matters, and the free speech provision in the Constitution is an illusion. There's never, ever been anything, there has never, ever been absolute free political speech under any nation state in the whole history of the world. Never, ever, right? Very calculated what they will let you get away with and how far it can spread. And what proved that, of course, was the last few years, social media censorship and Twitter's censorship, and proved that the U.S. is they have a different set of things and a different limits and so on. But the point is, there's no fucking such thing as free speech, and there never, ever has been. There was always a way to test those limits, and they might not say we're shutting down your speech, but they'll keep you from speaking. They'll just get you on something else that shuts you the fuck up, right? And then, of course, there is the free press. There's no such thing as a free press either. Never has been, right? You can be a free press if you're small and have a small reach. If you get big and you have a big reach, you're not a free press anymore, guaranteed. And who polices that? Is it the government? No, it's not the government. It's the corporations. The corporations who advertise. So it goes government to their buddies in the high up corporations who advertise in the media, and the message gets sent that we don't like these stories, or we don't like this, or we don't like that. No such thing. No such thing as free speech. No such thing as free press. Ever, 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 any state, any time in the history of human civilization. Get those silly, stupid notions out of your head. The same as you gold bugs. Shut the fuck up about the gold standard. It's the same thing. It's just a thing to make you think, oh, it's a magical thing. No, it's not. All right, anything else? Anything else? So I'll work on that. Oh, okay, so the AI thing. I'll just say some words about it. I put up a post yesterday about it, a long post, and it's public access, and I'm going to switch it right now to a paywall. And I'm not going to say one other fucking word about AI that isn't paywall. You can figure out why. So, in fact, I think I'm not going to blog for a long time anything that's not paywall anymore. Out. Catch you later. And see you on my blog, paying members.